Still taking the bus, Olivia? Mom asked, eyeing me through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Sterling Industries' executive floor. My sister Victoria sat behind Dad's massive desk, already practicing for her upcoming CEO position. I checked my phone discreetly. Another alert from my acquisition team. Public transportation is economical, I said quietly. More like your only option, Victoria smirked, adjusting her designer blazer. Not all of us can inherit a Fortune 500 company. If they only knew what was happening in the background of their precious company. Speaking of inheritance, Dad cleared his throat, picking up his prized Mont Blanc pen. Victoria's transition to Zoe will be announced at tonight's board meeting. My phone vibrated silently. The takeover was proceeding exactly as planned. How's your little investment firm doing? Victoria asked with fake concern. Still working from that shared office space? I checked the final confirmation. It keeps me occupied. Well, some of us were born for bigger things, she gestured around the executive suite. Sterling Industries isn't run from a cubicle. The office's Bloomberg terminal blinked with breaking news. My heart raced, right on schedule. Marcus, my chief of operations, walked in without knocking. His presence commanded attention even in the executive suite. Ms. Walker, he said formally, the takeover of Sterling Industries is complete. All shares and voting rights have been transferred to Walker Global. Dad's signature pen snapped in his hand, blue ink staining his custom suit. Takeover? Victoria whispered. Yes, I said calmly, pulling up the documentation on my tablet. Sterling Industries, along with all subsidiaries, is now a division of Walker Global. Walker Global? Mom's voice trailed off. Pie company, I explained. The one you called little. Victoria stood abruptly, her chair rolling back. This is impossible. Sterling Industries is worth $6 billion, I nodded. A fair price for an underperforming asset. Marcus handed me a folder. The restructuring plans are ready for your review, and the board is waiting to meet their new CEO. Dad's face had gone pale. New CEO? Well, we can't have someone with no experience running a major division, I said, reviewing the documents. Victoria, you'll find your new position outlined in the HR packet. My phone chimed with another alert. Marcus cleared his throat. The market has responded positively to the acquisition, he reported. Walker Global's value increased by $12 billion this morning. Mom grabbed the nearest chair for support. $12 billion. Just the morning's fluctuation, I said, standing. My little investment firm tends to generate significant returns. Victoria was frantically checking her phone. The board vote, the shareholders, approved the takeover unanimously, I confirmed. Amazing what proper incentives can achieve. Marcus's tablet pinged. Ms. Walker, the global announcement is ready. Of course, I gathered my things. Family, if you'll excuse me, I have an empire to run. Victoria, HR will contact you about your new role. Consider it a lateral move, downward. I paused at the door. Oh, and about that bus comment? I own the Transportation Authority. And this building. And most of the city's commercial real estate. I left them standing in what was now my office. Mom clutching her designer handbag, Dad still dripping blue ink, and Victoria realizing she'd just become an employee of her poor sister. Breaking. Walker Global acquires Sterling Industries in surprise $6 billion takeover. Sterling family loses control after 50 years. Walker Global CEO Olivia Walker, the hidden billionaire. Victoria stumbled back to Dad's, now my, chair. This has to be a mistake. The only mistake, I said, settling into a visitor's chair, was underestimating the sister you thought couldn't afford a car. Marcus pulled up the acquisition details on the room's massive screen. Sterling Industries will be restructured as the Eastern Division of Walker Global's industrial arm. Current market value of Walker Global, $89 billion. Mom's designer purse slipped from her grasp. $89 billion, I finished. Though that's just the industrial division. Our tech and real estate holdings are substantially larger. Dad was still staring at his ink-stained hands. But your small office is the front for a global operation, I explained. While you were focused on your $6 billion company, I built an empire worth 20 times that. Victoria's voice cracked. 20 times. Conservative estimate, Marcus noted, scrolling through more data. This morning's acquisitions in Asia should push us past the 100 billion mark. The executive floor security team entered, now wearing Walker Global badges. Ms. Walker, the head of security addressed me, not my father. The building's security protocols have been updated. Shall we begin transitioning staff access? Proceed, I nodded. And ensure the Sterling family's access is appropriately adjusted. Dad found his voice. Adjusted. You'll maintain access to your new offices, I explained. 3 floors down where the regional managers work. Victoria's perfectly manicured hands trembled. Regional managers? Consider it generous, I said, reviewing more takeover documents. Most acquired executives are relocated to subsidiary offices. Marcus's tablet chimed again. Asian markets are opening. Our market cap just hit 105 billion. Mom sank into a chair. All this time, while we were mocking. I was building, I completed her thought. While you counted cars and houses, I counted companies and countries. The security team began changing the office's access panels. The Sterling Industries logo flickered and died, replaced by Walker Global's distinctive emblem. Your entire lives, I continued, watching them process their new reality. You measured success by what you could show. I measured it by what I could own. Victoria was still trying to process. But your clothes, your apartment. Our choices, I said firmly. I choose to own the buildings rather than decorate their penthouses. To buy companies rather than cars. Marcus approached with another urgent update. Tokyo Exchange opening. Our Asian subsidiaries are up 30%. Excellent, I nodded. Now family, if you'll excuse me, I have an empire to run. Victoria, HR will help you clear out this office. I'll need it for actual business. As I stood to leave, Dad made one last attempt. Olivia, we're still family. Yes, I agreed, straightening my simple but immaculately tailored suit. A family that now works for me. The elevator doors opened to reveal my executive team, each carrying tablets showing Walker Global's ever-increasing value. Welcome to the new Sterling Industries, I said, stepping into the elevator. Or as it's now known, Walker Global Eastern Division. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't in proving you're successful. It's in becoming so powerful that others' definitions of success become irrelevant. The last thing I saw as the doors closed was Victoria, still sitting in what used to be her future CEO chair, realizing she now answered to the sister she'd mocked for taking the bus. The next morning, the Walker Global Command Center hummed with activity. Dozens of holographic screens displayed our worldwide operations, with Sterling Industries now a small dot in our vast corporate network. Your sister has been in her new regional manager's office since 5 a.m., my AI assistant reported, attempting to understand Walker Global's operational structure. I pulled up the security feed. Victoria sat at a standard-issue desk, her designer clothes incongruous against the practical office furniture, frantically studying our company documentation. And your parents? I asked, watching our stock continue its meteoric rise. Your father has made 17 attempts to access his old executive suite. Your mother has called our HR department 23 times regarding the family's revised compensation packages. The main screen showed Victoria struggling with our basic management software, technology that made Sterling Industries systems look prehistoric. Ms. Walker, Marcus entered with urgent updates. The integration team reports Sterling's infrastructure is even more outdated than we anticipated. Complete overhaul recommended. Approved, I said, signing the digital authorization. And the staff evaluations? Most Sterling executives lack the qualifications for equivalent positions at Walker Global. Recommended retraining or reassignment. I watched Victoria on the screen, still wrestling with entry-level systems. Starting with the former COB. My phone buzzed with priority alerts. The command center's displays updated automatically. Sterling's market value has increased 40% since our acquisition, Marcus reported. The market apparently prefers competent management. 40% in one day, I mused. More than Victoria's entire projected 5-year growth plan. The security system announced, Sterling family requesting access to main command center. I surveyed our operation, hundreds of screens showing global transactions, AI systems processing trillion-dollar deals, quantum computers modeling economic futures. Let them in, I said. Time for a proper education. They entered cautiously. Victoria's confident strut was gone, replaced by the uncertain steps of someone who just discovered they were playing in the minor leagues. Olivia, Dad started, then fell silent as he took in the scale of our operation. Different from Sterling's executive floor, isn't it? I asked, watching our market cap tick past 120 billion. Mom clutched her designer handbag tighter. All this time, while you were bragging about Sterling's regional success, I nodded. I was building global dominance. Marcus approached with another update. Asian acquisition complete. European expansion proceeding ahead of schedule. Victoria stepped closer to a quantum terminal, staring at calculations that made her MBA look elementary. This technology, it's beyond anything. Beyond Sterling's capabilities? I suggested. That's why you're now a division, not a company. The main screen flashed with breaking news. Walker global market cap surpasses 125 billion following Asian expansion. Dad's legs seemed to weaken. 125 billion. Before lunch, I confirmed. More than Sterling made in its entire 50-year history. Victoria was still trying to comprehend the quantum displays. Our best analysts couldn't. Your best analysts are being retrained, I cut in. Along with most of Sterling's executive team. My phone chimed with urgent alerts. The command center shifted focus to European markets. London exchange opening early for us, Marcus reported. Frankfurt requesting priority access. Mom found her voice. Priority access? When you control enough of the global economy, I explained, markets adjust their schedules to accommodate you. Victoria finally turned from the displays. Why didn't you tell us? All those years. Would you have believed me? I asked. You were too busy mocking my bus rides to notice I owned the transit system. The quantum systems pulsed with new data. Marcus checked his tablet. Walker Global's AI predicts another 30% growth this quarter, he announced. Conservative estimate. Dad stepped forward. Olivia, about how we treated you. Save it, I said, authorizing another billion-dollar transaction. Your opinions stopped mattering when I bought your legacy. Victoria watched as I commanded resources that dwarfed Sterling's entire operation. All those times you declined our business advice. I was busy building something you couldn't comprehend, I finished. While you played at being executives, I was redefining global commerce. The command center's AI announced, World Economic Forum requesting emergency session with Ms. Walker. Put them in queue, I said. Behind the G7 finance ministers. Mom's grip on her handbag tightened. G7 ministers? When you control this much of the global economy, I explained, governments tend to call frequently. 1 week after the takeover, I sat in my command center reviewing Sterling Industries' complete restructuring. Victoria's performance evaluations flashed across my screen, all dismally below Walker Global standards. Your sister has requested another meeting, my AI assistant reported. Her 5th attempt today. I watched her through the security feed, pacing in her regional manager's office. The designer suits were gone, replaced by standard business attire. Her perfect hair showed signs of actual work. Your parents are in the lobby again, Marcus added, entering with the morning's reports. And Sterling's former board members are still trying to negotiate their severance packages. Predictable, I said, watching our market cap approach 150 billion. Show me Victoria's latest assessment. The screen filled with her attempts to master our basic systems. Despite her previous arrogance, she was showing unexpected dedication. She's been working through the nights, Marcus noted. Actually trying to learn. I studied the data. Interesting. Perhaps there's potential beneath the privilege. My phone buzzed with priority alerts. The command center's displays updated automatically. The Sterling Industries transformation is ahead of schedule, Marcus reported. Staff retraining showing positive results. Except at the top, I observed, watching Victoria struggle with another system test. The security system announced. Victoria Walker requesting emergency access. I paused. Let her in. She entered, nothing like the polished Sion training from last week. Tired eyes. Focused. Humble but determined. Olivia, she started then stopped looking at the command center. I need to talk to you. About your failed reviews? I asked, pulling up her scores. No, she said quietly. About everything. I've been wrong. So wrong. I turned from the displays. Go on. This past week, she gestured at the tech around us. I've learned more than in my entire MBA program. What you've built, it's beyond sterling. Beyond anything I imagined. And I prompted. And I want to learn, she said firmly. Really learn. Not just pretend to be an executive. I want to understand how you built this. Marcus checked his tablet. Her study logs show consistent effort. Highest engagement among former sterling execs. I approached a quantum terminal. You know you'll never run this company? I know, she nodded. I need to earn any position here. Start from the bottom if I must. The displays shifted to global operations. This isn't Sterling Industries, Victoria. Family names don't matter here. I know, she said quietly. I'm not asking for promotion. Just a chance to learn. I studied her. Why? Because this week showed me real business, she said, gesturing around. While I bragged about Sterling's millions, you were transforming the global economy. I want to understand how. My phone chimed. Marcus checked it. Walker Global just passed $155 billion market cap. Victoria didn't flinch. I've been studying your original coding projects. The first AI systems. I have questions, if you'll teach me. I raised an eyebrow. You've been studying coding? Every night, she nodded. It's humbling. I pulled up her learning logs. Consistent progress. Started with the basics. You understand this means giving up what you thought you deserved? I asked. I understand it means becoming something real, she replied. Not inheriting a position. The quantum systems pulsed with new data. I made a decision. Marcus, adjust Victoria's access. Give her entry-level developer privileges. Victoria's eyes widened. Developer. Bottom of the ladder, I confirmed. You'll work with the junior coding team. No special treatment. Thank you, she breathed. I won't disappoint. This isn't about me, I cut her off. It's about whether you can actually build something, not just manage what others built. The AI announced, new market projections ready. Back to work, I said. Your coding mentor contacts you tomorrow. Don't be late. Victoria paused at the door. Olivia, I'm sorry. For everything before. Prove it by learning, I replied. Actions, not apologies. She nodded and left, already pulling up tutorials on her tablet. Marcus approached. Interesting choice. Everyone deserves a chance to become more than their past, I said. Even spoiled sisters. The displays showed Victoria diving into basic code. Designer lifestyle replaced by effort. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't destroying critics. It's giving them a chance to see why they were wrong. My phone buzzed. Walker Global market cap. $160 billion and rising. Success isn't just proving people wrong. Sometimes it's showing them a better way to be right. And that was worth more than any corporate takeover.